morning and happy Monday and welcome to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at the
fabulous Arizona Center.
We hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day to all those who celebrated. Gosh, we did so much. I took my mom shopping. She wanted to go to the Chinese food buffet. Pat and my mom and his mom, we all did brunch together. And then we visited Grandma, who's 97. So it was a full...
You didn't take Grandma with you?
No. We bought Granny some egg rolls, and she was pretty happy with that.
Okay. I was like, oh. Okay.
Honestly, she's been doing really well, but up until recently, she's
feeling the...
starting to poop out a little bit.
Okay,
yeah,
understandable.
So she's good with the visit and the egg rolls. You know what she loves? Do you know what her favorite thing is? I'm so proud of my grandmother for this. The Jack in the Box tacos. She loves her Jack in the Box
tacos
so much. Yeah. So anyway, that's my grandma in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen.
Jack in the Box tacos.
Yep. Watches AMC movies all day, eating her Jack in the Box tacos. Come from a good line.
And say old black and white movies and Jack in the Box tacos.
That's right.
The perfect pairing. You know what else is the perfect pairing?
What?
Us and word of the day.
I'm running out of fake reactions to do of excitement. Can I just stare at you loathingly?
Well, here, I will let you rip it off.
Ready?
Yep. All right.
Okay.
So our word of the day is metricious. So it is tawdrily and falsely attractive, superficially significant, pretentious. Okay, their sentence is: the critic panned the book as a well-written but metricious work with little substance beneath its veneer of forceful rhetoric and righteous indignation.
Seriously hate their sentences more than anything.
Gosh, it's
like with a white hot passion.
You want to sit there with
like
a dictionary and look up every other word.
Well, that was
painful.
That was meretricious in and of itself. I did not enjoy that word of the day. But then again, I never do. But anyway.
Bumfuzzled.
And persnickety.
So you do enjoy some of the words of the day.
I enjoyed one of them. Out of the 100 days we've been doing this, I liked
one
word.
We have not been doing this 100 days.
Shh. I was trying to make a point. I'm making a point.
Oh.
Okay. He's going to stop talking. We're going to take a break. And we'll be right back after this and introduce you to our guest for this beautiful Monday. Keep it right here.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at the
fabulous Arizona Center.
And Marshall, are you ready to learn how to manage your finances better?
Sure.
Why do you look skeptical about that? Is that a topic that scares you?
It's numbers.
Oh. Any numbers. You're just like...
Any numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those that have like fear of numbers.
Uh-oh. Really?
So, yeah.
Do you do your taxes? Do you pay the bills in your household? What do you do anything? Do you
I do my own taxes. I don't pay bills because I would pay them on my schedule.
Oh God, no, you can't, honey.
So they would get paid
eventually,
but it would just be when I had the time to pay them.
Oh, you remind me of my ex-husband.
So,
all right. Okay.
That's why other people do that. So I don't have to.
Luckily, we have someone here who is not afraid of numbers.
Exactly.
We have Jason here from Andorro. Hi, Jason.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
Thanks for being here with us.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hear you're pretty good with money and finances?
Pretty good with money. It's pretty much math, It's pretty simple, Addition, subtraction, a little multiplication, division,
We're arts people here.
I know,
Exactly.
There's nothing a calculator can't fix for you guys.
My iPhone is my best friend, I know. So tell us, though, a little bit about what it is you actually do.
I actually go ahead and transform people's lives.
Well, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I transform people's mindsets, their bodies, and their money. So I go ahead and teach you how to be healthy. I teach you how to create wealth, how to manage money. Most people are never taught any of this information in school, and unfortunately, these are the two things you need to focus on, your health and your wealth, in order to live the best life you can possibly have. So that's kind of what I do from this standpoint.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I don't recall learning anything about that in school or having conversations like that even with my family. You know, it was sort of like you get it on your own and you just figure it out as you go. But I'm curious when you started making the correlation between health and wealth.
Okay, so they kind of go hand in hand. Let me tell you, if you don't have good health, I don't care how much money you have. Because if you can't get out of bed in the morning, it doesn't really matter. So that's the number one thing you should really be focused on. Think about prevention over prescription. If you can always prevent before you take a prescription, way better.
Yeah.
So then the same mindset goes hand in hand. What are you going to do to be healthy? What kind of discipline you're going to have? Same thing with the money. How are you going to go ahead and make sure that you have enough money at all times and have emergency savings? And you're building towards the lifestyle that you want to live, especially once you get older. As I teach my clients, I'm like, what kind of lifestyle do you guys want to live when you retire? Because then we need to work backwards to figure out what you need to do from a savings standpoint and an investment standpoint and the kind of ROI that you need in order to get to that lifestyle that you want to be able to maintain or have.
Right. So I'm curious, you know, I know you could probably say this at any point in time, but this does feel like a particularly timely conversation, kind of given a lot of the unpredictability of the climate right now. And even if you're not necessarily focused on the financial part of it, there are a lot of people that are feeling a lot of stress, just a lot of unsureness about life in general.
For sure.
What is kind of some good advice that people could apply to their lives right now to kind of start seeing some results?
So to help with your stress, and this is where managing money properly comes in. So if you understand how to manage money properly, your stress will go away. I mean, all my clients, they go ahead and see where they're going to be at the end of the year or even farther out than that. So they see on a weekly basis exactly what their balances are going to be from a liquidity standpoint and from a cash standpoint, and it takes the guesswork out. There's no surprises. Like I have a client that's going on maternity leave right now, so she's not going to be making any money for the next 2 months. Well, she's like, well, you know, what's going to happen here? I was like, well, what does your spreadsheet say? Because yeah, you don't have any income coming in, but you got enough savings here, and then when you get back to work, you're going to make plenty of money, so there's really nothing to worry about. And they go ahead and say, you're right, it's true. So when you look at your information on a daily basis, it goes ahead and eliminates a whole lot of stress that most people have because they just don't understand where the money's at. And going to your bank and checking your bank balance, that doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting you bring that up because so one of the things that I did, I used to be a journalist, and after 10 years, I had literally clinical burnout. And when I decided to leave, I saved up enough money to be able to live for a year before I left my job. And it was funny because I've talked to a lot of other clients now that came to me for coaching, and they're like, oh, I want to do the same thing. I want to take some time off. And I kept telling them, like, well, you have to do kind of a backup plan, know how much money you need, look at your finance. I was shocked how many people just don't want to look at their money.
They're scared of it. For some reason, I don't understand, because the more knowledge you have, the more decisions you can make to better yourself and to know what you can and can't do.
But one of the things I was blown away by Jason is, like, you take so much time off to just go enjoy life and travel and explore. And I think it's so cool that not only have you been able to do that, but you've been able to help your clients do that too. Yeah,
it's a mindset, and it's really, it goes back to all being math. I mean, I used to restructure financial distress companies and sell them off. And that was a very high pressured and a very high stressful job. So I would go ahead and take 6 months off after I finished up a project just to decompress before I go to the next one, because there's always a crisis situation that you're going into. So I go do that, and as I got older, I'm like, where can I travel to? So yeah, I've lived in Spain, I've lived in Argentina, I'm going to go live in Australia this summer and stuff like that, just to experience different cultures. But I understand where my money's at all times. I mean, I look at it every day, and I'm very financially educated. So I teach people that maybe aren't that way. You can get to this point. What do you want out of your life? Because once you understand your money, it makes life so much easier.
So let me ask you a flat out question. How do I get to that point? Is that investing? Is that picking a job that maybe isn't arts, like switching careers?
It's a combination of things. I mean, you need to be able to make money. I don't teach you how to make money. You figure out what you want to do. Each person's different.
Right.
Then I teach you how to manage that money properly through a cash flow analysis, through a proper budget, through liquidity analysis and net worth analysis. So you're always tracking your information.
Right.
And then you're also thinking about, where do you want to be at the end of the year from a financial standpoint, from a health standpoint, from a lifestyle standpoint. And you do that for year 1, year 5, year 10. Now year 5 and 10 may change, but year 1 you should have goals and visions as you see, this is where I'm at.
Okay.
And this is where I want to be at. And say, okay, what's the plan? How do I get from point A to point B?
Yeah.
and work backwards.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Okay, so I see you brought a little prop
I
here.
So not only am I a financial guy, I really focus on the health side. So one of my clients is a doctor, and
Okay.
He's doing pretty well financially right now. He's also in unbelievable shape for his age. He's at 53. But he wanted to go ahead and change his diet a little bit. So we talk finances and stuff for his business, but I also cook for him for 4 days a week. So I present this menu board to him every week. So when he comes over, he understands exactly what we're having, what we're eating, because his goal was to get down to about 10% body fat at 53 years old. So he's a little not the norm. So,
no, yeah.
But he was at 11.6, and he goes, I want to get it down to tweaking, to be a little bit. So, this way I plan out, and I suggest that people do the same thing too. It's a lot easier to figure out what you're going to eat instead of just trying to go daily DoorDash or something like that on a daily basis and stuff like that, if you truly want to be healthy.
Yeah. I know I met with a nutritionist last month, and I said exactly that to her. I said, I don't do well when people tell me like, oh, don't eat this, don't eat that. I do so much better if you're just like, here, eat this. Like, here's your meal plan for the week, eat this. And I'll do that because I can follow that easily. It's when you give me the freedom to decide that I get myself into trouble, right?
Well, you got to have some freedom. You got to be able to have some enjoyment. You can't be strict all the time.
I'm an Italian girl who was raised on pasta. It's hard.
Right.
It's probably not on my diet plan. Yeah, I know.
You'd rather eat pasta, wouldn't you?
I would.
There you go. You got to pick and choose.
I know. Well, Jason, this has been so interesting to learn from you and learn about what you do. But what I'm curious about is how you got started. How did this become your thing?
So, as I said, I've run numerous businesses, fixing them and selling them off for my clients and stuff like that. And truly, your life is a business. You have income coming in, expenses going out, and assets and liabilities to manage.
Yep.
Unfortunately, in this world, it's really not fair for a lot of people because they're not taught this information. So you're already stuck behind the 8 ball, and I'm all about being fair. So let me go ahead and help you out and give you the information that you need. Now then it's up to you. I can't go ahead and do it for you, but I can give you the opportunity. This way, everybody has the same opportunity. That information exists out there. You just have to have the drive to go ahead and do it. So there's a wealth in gap that, I even saw with my parents. They mismanaged their money. And one's extremely poor. The other one has a small pension that lives off of and Social Security and stuff like that. They don't live anything where the lifestyle that I live and stuff like that. And I saw what happened when they were mismanaging their funds. So if I can go ahead and prevent people from doing that, and I can help people get a head start, especially if you're young, if you can understand and become financially literate, the sky's the limit for you guys, and your stress levels come down, and you can set your life however you want. The way we have it right now, the political classes, not to get into politics, but it's pretty much stacked at the top. If you're in the top 10%, you pretty much own everything. And there's a reason that they don't teach you a lot of this stuff in school, because once you start to understand it, your life gets better and you're not dependent on other people.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so much power there that people can tap into and learn from. Yeah. So are people able to work with you, or are you accepting new clients?
Yes.
Okay.
I have limited basis where I accept new clients and stuff like that. And the thing I always tell people is like, if you're willing to put in the work, I'm willing to help you. If you're not willing to put in the work, I don't want to help you because I don't want you to waste your time, my time, or your money. It doesn't do you any good. That's
fair. Yeah, that sounds fair. Well, why don't you let folks know how they can contact you, learn more about you and your work?
You can go to Andorro, ANDORRO.com, and there's a contact page, or you can send me an email at support@andorro.com.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for spending some time with us.
I appreciate you guys
today.
having me over here.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
I feel inspired. Like I'm ready to put in some
Take
work.
control of your life.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's a
It
math
is pretty
equation.
simple. Well, thank you so much. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. We've got things to do, history, celebrations, all the good stuff. So don't go away. We'll be here waiting for you.
And good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at
the fabulous Arizona Center.
Whew. You feel better about numbers now? You're like, no. Cool. Okay.
Exactly. It's like numbers are not my friend.
Yeah.
So.
That was true though. That when I made that decision, I really did like look at, okay, this is how much I spend on all the things,
Right.
and if I want to do this, how much money do I need to have to feel comfortable, you know, and
Right.
it
Well,
really was
right.
like a
I mean,
backup
and I have
schedule.
done that. I mean, when I chose to break away from libraries and kind of go on my own, it was kind of like, okay, what does that look like? And
Yeah.
it was like, okay,
Yeah.
time to tighten the belt a little bit.
See, you
and
can do it.
Oh, I can. It's just not my happy place.
Yeah, like now, so a lot of people don't know, I kind of phased out a lot of my marketing clients so I could actually focus on us growing the show,
Right.
because we want this to turn into something really big and beautiful and wonderful and
And sustainable.
and sustainable. And so I was like, well, cancel my FabFitFun box. Like I was like, what can I cancel that I don't need, you know?
Right.
And kind of did the same thing. Went through and looked at how comfortable can we be
Right.
if I make these choices. And yeah, it's, you know, and I think the thing that we didn't really talk about was, you know, I did have times like that where I could go travel and take as much
Right.
time off as I needed. And now I'm in a period where I can't do that, right? I'm
Right.
making some different choices.
Well, I mean, a lot of
and-
times you either have the time or the money,
Right.
but not the two together.
Yeah. So,
So.
you know, there's seasons to life, and yeah. But if that is something you're interested in, getting better about financial literacy or learning how to manage your money better and your health and how those two things go together, Jason certainly seems to have a really
Yeah,
successful
and,
track
they are
record.
very interrelated. I mean, health
Yeah.
and just managing making sure your bills are covered.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's time for you to shine, Marshall.
Ooh, I get to talk some history? Yeah. Okay, so when you think sports in Arizona,
Me?
yeah.
'Cause I'm always thinking
well,
sports,
well,
yes,
you know,
what?
well, I mean, it's like, you know, we have a football team,
We do.
we have a basketball team,
We do.
we have a baseball team.
And I know all their names.
Ah, see, there you go. But you know, you normally don't think polo.
That is correct. I do not.
And so back on, in 1931, you had U of A's polo team getting ready to go west. I'm sorry, go east.
I was like, how
I was like, wait a minute,
to
go and go there.
California?
And so
California?
basically, they went and U of A, their polo team defeated Harvard, Yale, Princeton.
Wow.
And so it was really a moment where kind of that Western style kind of showcased now suddenly on the East Coast, where riding horses and
Was that the last and only time it happened, though?
no, actually it was quite active until the 30s
Okay.
later on, but it was really heavily, the program was disbanded actually because of World War II. The horses were used for other things.
Oh, poor horses.
So, but I just thought it was interesting because it's like when you think of sports, it's like you never think polo.
Why did that just make me so sad? They like went
And-
from polo horses to war horses. Oh.
So I just thought it was really cool that it was like we had one of the top polo teams right here in the country, here in Arizona.
No, that is cool. I had
So-
no idea.
So yeah, exactly. So that was the fun thing of kind of digging in and seeing, well, what happened today that was kind of fun and interesting. And
Well, you want to know one of my other questions?
does it involve miniature horses?
Always. No, instead of historically what happened, what is happening today that is fun and interesting
some
to
things we can celebrate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Horses, our favorite
Indeed.
sound effect was spot on. Great timing.
All right. So today is Limerick Day.
Did
In
you write me
honor-
a limerick?
We'll get there. Don't get ahead of me.
Sorry.
Jesus.
I love when you do poetry.
So
Okay.
basically, Edward Lear's birthday, born in 1812, he basically was the one that popularized limericks back in the mid 1800s. And so what is a limerick? Why, it's 5 lines of a poem with distinctive rhyme and a rhyme scheme.
So they're not always dirty?
They're not always, there was a lady from Nantucket.
Okay.
So, no, indeed. And so, Each morning with coffee in hand, Melissa and Marshall take a stand. With laughter and flair, they're quite the rare pair, spreading sunshine all over the land.
I love it.
So indeed.
Yay.
So go off and write your own limerick about your day, or maybe just go recite one that you can't do on air because it would get you an X rating.
Those are our favorites.
We don't do those on camera.
We do not.
No. So also, so you're in your car, you're driving along.
I'm driving.
How do you know how far
The
you've gone?
Jetsons car.
Well, exactly. They probably didn't have an odometer, but today is odometer day.
Oh boy.
So,
Okay.
Odometers basically tell you how far you've gone.
They do.
So they're important for your car because you know whether you've gone 10 miles or maybe you're hitting 300,000 like my old Honda, which was slowly
I
dying.
loved your old Honda.
I know. I'm
That
still
thing was a beast.
sad.
All right, we'll go show your odometer some love today.
Yeah, I
when you
mean,
get in your
and
car.
it just encourages drivers to appreciate the role that their odometers play in knowing what your mileage is, how much you're getting per gallon. So there's all kinds of things odometer can tell you.
It's true.
And even I just took the car in because it had to be work done because it was like, you reached a milestone. Okay, now these things need to get done. And
Your new one already?
yeah, it went in for its first little.
Oh, I'm due tomorrow. That's
See?
funny.
Yeah.
Okay, because we got our cars right around the
Yeah,
same time.
exactly. All right. Also, today is National Hospital Day. And because it recognizes the vital roles that hospitals play in healthcare, and they were basically done today because it is the birthday of Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. So, happy birthday, Florence Nightingale, and happy Hospital Day.
That's one of those love-hate relationships. You need hospitals, but you don't really want to be in a hospital. Yeah.
Right. And you don't really want to go to the hospital because that means someone's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So it's always a double-edged sword. And then, again, we have no treats, but it is National Nutty Fudge Day. And we have no nutty fudge. Wah, wah.
Okay, but the chocolate store downstairs definitely has nutty fudge.
They do indeed. So, and it's really, fudge is such an American thing, established in the 19th century, was one of the extremely popular things that really happened because a batch of caramel didn't turn out as intended, and there you had some fudge.
Well, if you want
So-
some fudge or something else chocolatey, the Arizona Center actually has a chocolate kind of cafe right downstairs. It is delicious and
I know,
not good for diets, but good for your soul.
Right, it's not always about just the bottom line. Sometimes you need a little bit of
Sometimes you do.
celebration in there.
It's true.
And that's a great place to go celebrate. They have all kinds of sweet treats.
Yeah, it is.
And the other day, a couple weeks ago, we did a First Friday here at Arizona Center, and it was great to see that place packed.
Oh, good.
Full of all kinds of people enjoying a sweet treat.
You can also go work it off at the roller rink right down the way.
Ah, that is
there's
indeed
that.
true.
Have some fudge and then go skate it off. Yeah.
Indeed. So, speaking of roller skating, what are some other things we could be doing today?
All right, music fans, Halsey is touring, and she is at the Talking Stick Resort at Amphitheater. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Woof, I butchered that. It's going to be 7 p.m. tonight. So basically, it's her For My Last Trick tour. You can experience her powerful vocals, raw emotion, and chart-topping hits like Without Me, Bad at Love, and Graveyard. And this is a show you do not want to miss. I remember when she first started getting really popular, it was kind of after her breakup with Machine Gun Kelly, and there were all these women that were like, we're not going to ever listen to Machine Gun Kelly again, because she would talk really bad about how he was in their relationship.
Right.
And then a really popular song would come out from Machine Gun Kelly, and be like, I guess we'll listen to it. But anyway, it's tickets start at $40 and 7 p.m. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. We've also got Solid Gold Soul at the Herberger Theater Center in Phoenix, also happening at 7 p.m. This is a musical anthology that celebrates 60s and 70s R&B and Motown classics. It features iconic songs in this one-man show that stars award-winning entertainer T.A. Burrows, who uses his remarkable vocal talents to deliver spot-on renditions of popular hits by artists like Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, The Temptations, Stevie Wonder, James Brown, Al Green, and more.
Wow, that sounds fun.
Can you imagine being able to do all of the, like, you and I can't sing a note,
I was going to say, I'm like, I can't do one. And he's like, I can do all of these. I'm like, wow.
Okay. But can he do Julie Andrews? That's what I want to know. Anyway, so today, actually, you have some time. The show runs through May 22nd.
Okay, so you have to run out tonight to see it. But okay, you got some
here's
time.
what really blows my mind. Are you ready? Tickets are only $11. I know. Like, what a cool show for $11.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bargain.
I know. There's also some lunchtime shows available too. So if you don't want to do like a 7 p.m.
and I love it when they do like the brown bag lunch
a noon
shows.
show. Yeah.
Fun.
Speaking of our cars being due for service, we've got Auto Care Connect at the Sheraton downtown Phoenix. It's actually an early event. It kicks off at 7 a.m. And runs through May 15th. So this is the ultimate gathering of industry leaders and professionals from all corners of the auto care world. It's a place to spark innovation, build some connections, and drive the industry forward. They do not have prices
drive
available.
the industry forward?
Oh, you picked up on that. Yeah. So you don't get to know how much it is until you register. So, surprise! But it is from 7 to 11 a.m.
Drive on
each
over.
day. Yeah. Which I think is kind of cool because then you have like the whole rest of the day off to go, explore and do some other things. So 7 to 11. This sounds absolutely lovely, and I might see if Anne wants to go with me at some point to this if they do it multiple times. It is a moonlight yoga flow at the Phoenician in Scottsdale at 7:30 p.m. So this is soul nourishing yoga. Basically, they are aligning the energy of the flower moon, which is the perfect time to embrace change, let go of what no longer serves you, and connect with nature's rhythms. They're going to harness the lunar qualities and invite healing, emotional growth, and renewal into your lives by promoting inner balance, and conclude the session with some crystal singing bowls and vibrations from that. So whether you're a seasoned yogi or totally new to the mat, they really don't care. This class will have you leaving empowered, energized, cleansed, and rejuvenated. So this is only $35 per person. It's from 7:30 to 9 p.m. and the Phoenician is absolutely beautiful. If you've never been, the grounds are just gorgeous. So.
And as you drive in, you get to see the adobe structure that was the Jokaki, which was the resort that was there before the Phoenician was there.
I did not know that. Well, that's cool.
So, yeah.
Okay. And last but not least, Spirit Lounge at Where You Been Coffee. Where You Been? Sorry. In Phoenix. At 11:30 a.m.
Well, just the pun after pun after pun.
I know. Okay. It's Connection and Kava with Kava with other women interested in wellness, spirituality, embodiment, and community. So this is the first gathering that they're doing. They're going to bring together an Ahwatukee witchy and wellness community. If this resonates with you, you can show up, grab some kava, and just meet like-minded witchy women. So there is no fee, no charge for this. It's from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it's right off of Chandler Boulevard, Suite 110.
Very cool.
I don't know if you're a witchy woman or not, Marshall,
I
but you can come with me.
I'm not a witchy woman.
You could be an honorary witchy woman.
It's funny because there are several groups, and it's like they keep saying, well, but you can come, we'll make you an honorary member. I'm like, well, I don't really fit you've got
everybody wants you, Marshall. They just want you to be
It's just very funny.
Okay. So. Well, this has been a super great Monday?
Yeah.
I never say that about Mondays very often.
Well, because You got to see grandma, you got to see moms.
Oh, over the weekend, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, true.
So you're still basking in that glow.
The glow of the mamas. Yeah. Okay, well, we want to remind you that we've got an event coming up in June, 602 Day, which is June 2nd. We're going to be throwing a really cool, fun community event celebrating 602, which is basically celebrating
Right, it's going to be
Phoenix.
happening all over the city, and we're taking over the 11th floor here, so it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be like a First Friday vibe with more going on, so it'll be a fun evening.
Yeah, so check the website for more details. And also, if you have any events, celebrations, things you want to shout out, things you want us to know about or talk about, our show is all about you, local love, local community. So we want to hear from you for sure. You can reach us at hello@onthemorningshow.com.
They can even email us.
That was the email.
It was.
Where else can they reach us?
As well as Instagram,
There you
which
go.
is just at on the morning show.
That's right. Yep. So you can shoot us a DM, you can shoot us an email. We love hearing from you. And we hope you have as splendid of a Monday as we did. Thanks for starting your morning with us. We'll be right back with you Tuesday.
Indeed, we'll be here tomorrow.
Taco-less, I'm sure, but we'll still be here.
Oh man, again.